Hi, welcome to your fifth practical of year 3. So this is the first time you are doing titration, which is also known as volumetric analysis, because you are interested in finding out what volume of chemical is needed exactly. So this experiment is about precision. So let me introduce to you some of the basic items that you'll be using. Okay, so in this case, it says P will be placed in the burette. So this is the burette. Burette is the one with a tap. This is a pipette. And with a pipette, you will need a pipette filler. This is a pipette filler. You will also be using a conical flask, a beaker, which is used for waste, a filter funnel. Okay, so today we are doing solution P, solution Q. So solution P is colorless. Solution Q is also colorless. If they are both colorless and no gas is given off, how do we know whether there's a reaction? So in this reaction, we'll be using what we call a indicator. So this is called a methyl orange indicator. So this will introduce the color to the reaction. So we can know when the reaction ends by the change in color. Okay, so what do you wash your usual apparatus with? Tap water, then distilled water. Okay, so must be very careful. Pipette and burette, they are very precise apparatus and they cost a lot. So if you break either one of them, it will cost you $12.50 or $25. So for these two very expensive apparatus, remember it this way, they're expensive, so you need to wash them with a special sequence. So what do I mean? Read your instructions. It says what? Put solution P in the burette. Means you wash P with burette directly. Skip the water, because if there is water left in the burette, it will cause dilution. And recall, this is about precision. Every drop of water can affect your reading. So how do you wash? You clamp it onto the retort stand. Make sure the tap is closed. Use a filter funnel. Do you have to add all the way to the top for washing? No. So you just add minimal amount for washing. Don't waste chemicals. So I've added the chemicals to about here, as you can see. It's not a lot of chemical, but because it's used for washing, it's okay. What do you do next? Make sure that your thumb is covering the hole. Let it go to 90 degrees and the chemical is flowing towards your thumb. Then you rotate it. And that's it. After which, what do? Place it back. you have not washed this segment. So now you take the waste and just turn on the tap fully, let it run off. So while it's running off, you can continue to wash the other apparatus. So this instruction say you put Q into this. It's written as pipette Q into a conical flask. So how do you do it? First and foremost, let me introduce you to your pipette filler. Your pipette filler has a A. So when you hold on to A, hold on to it and you can squeeze the bulb, the air will be given off. So it's A for air out. S for siphon. So when you press onto S, you will be able to bring the liquid. And E for eject. So recall you are washing, so you don't add so much. So how do you make this connect? Please do not use brute force. You may break this and injure yourself. So look at what I'm doing. You hold the top, just gently twist it in. How do you know when to stop? As long as it doesn't drop out, that's good enough. So put it in, press S, siphon, and the liquid is going up. So I mean the liquid about here is good enough because you're washing. Don't waste chemical. What do you do next? So again, let it be horizontal. Remove the suction, gently twist it up. Then let it flow this way. So the liquid is about here now. Then rotate. And just let it go. And you are done. So that's how you wash a pipette. Whenever you're done with the chemical, close the lid. Okay, now let's start the experiment. So you fill up your burette with solution P. Make sure the tap is closed. So okay, you do not have to start from 0.00. The main thing is, my recommendation for you is you start from a whole number. That's good enough. So how do you adjust? So you again use the waste. So as you can see, there's liquid here, there's liquid here, there's a gap here. So this is what we call air bubble. You should not have air bubble as it will affect your result. How do you get rid of this air bubble? You flush it out. So just turn on the tap fully. And you can see the air bubble is gone. So you can adjust such that it starts from a whole number, maybe 1.0. You're done with your burette preparation. So instruction says what? Pipette Q into a conical flask. So you use your pipette, hold the top of the pipette, gently twist it in, and open Q. Siphon, press onto S, and it will rise up. Where do you stop? There, if you look very carefully, there is a very fine line here. You stop at this line, right? So that's how you know when to stop. So my recommendation is you make sure you go a bit higher, remove it, take your waist, and slowly press E to adjust it. And make sure you go into eye level. Oh, I have overshot. So you repeat and you press S to increase again, and you adjust. And I'm done. So how do you transfer it to this? You can either press E and let it slowly go down, or you can merely place it in there and remove the suction. Of course, use some common sense, make sure it's stable before you let go. If not, you'll break something. Okay, so procedure says now you add 2 drops of indicator. 2 drops, nothing more, nothing less. If it's too little, it's very hard to see the color change. It's very faint. If it's too much, the color will be very intense. It's very hard to see the change in the gradient in the color. Yep. So you realize that there's still a little bit of liquid left. What do? You rotate it such that you see this dry area? Just gently tap it. Some of the chemical can still come out. The dry area, gently tap it. And that's good enough. So this is how you get into the conical flask. 2 drops. So as you can see, the starting color is yellow. So this indicator is called methyl orange. So you can actually make an intelligent guess at what color do you stop the reaction. Exactly, orange. So it will turn from yellow to orange to pink or red. Once you see pink or you have overshot, you need to redo. So you stop at the very moment where it turns to orange. And now you're ready to titrate. Adjust this thing such that it's a comfortable height. The tip is here. You can't fit. So find something that is logical. You have 2 hands. So one hand will be swirling the conical flask, while the other hand adjusts the tap. So a general rule of thumb is the first 20 cm cube you can just spam. Meaning you can just turn on and let it cool. Of course, still take note. Usually, the usual answer is about 23, 24, 25, that range. So it's a rule of thumb, but it's not always true, but generally it works. As you may see, it seems like there's a little bit of red, but once you swirl it, it disappears. So you need to reach a point where it's orange and it's a permanent shade of orange. So now I've added 20, now I will adjust my tap such that it's going to be drop, 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 drop. How fast should it be? Choose something you're comfortable with. Keep swirling. Your right hand is ready to turn off the tap anytime. When that one single drop turns into orange. it takes a while, so be patient. You rather do it well rather than you have to repeat. So it does train your patience. So at this point, you look at it, it seems like there's some form of orange, but you can still kind of see that there's some form of yellow. So this means that you're nearing. So at this point, you slow down, you literally go drop by drop. So sometimes if what happens if you have chemicals stuck at the side, you can actually use distilled water, not so much, some of it to wash it down. As you can see, it's orange. So this will be the answer, but then again, often the question you ask yourself is, how do I know this is actually orange? Or is it I need to add more? So the trick is this. So if you think that this is the color, what you'll do now is you look at the reading, you'll note down somewhere on the paper. So let me look at it. Okay, so what next? Now you can add one drop. The purpose of doing so is because sometimes you plan to add one drop, but sometimes accidents happen and you added a lot and overshot. So at least you have an idea how much volume roughly you have to reach the second time round, the third time round. So let's try and add one drop. So if this turns more orange, means it's good. You use the new reading. If you add that one drop and you see pink, remember, pink means overshot. If you see pink means overshot, means you take the original reading. So you have something to fall back on. It's like a safety netting. It's still orange. So it's okay. So in this case, it's pink. You can see the tinge of pink means you overshot. You take the previous reading, and that is how you do the titration. So when you stop in actual exam context, you stop when you have two best reading. And what is the best reading? We'll cover that more in class. And that's about it. It's quite a simple experiment, yet it's always tested. So it's 3 marks. Yeah! So that's about it. Thank you.